Good evening. I'm delighted to welcome you here to Middle Temple for this very important event, whether you're joining us here in person or online. We're delighted you've been able to come and join us to mark this very significant day in our students' lives and celebrate their achievement in being called to the bar. My name is Christopher Geeker. I'm the Under-Treasurer and Chief Executive of Middle Temple, and I run the Inn on a day-to-day basis. I'm the 40th person to have held this post since the first recorded appointment in 1524, which perhaps tells you something about the age of the inn and its very long history. One of the elements of the inn, of course, which we are proudest about, is the four walls around you. It is, of course, Middle Temple Hall. It was begun in 1562 and has been in use since 1570, and it replaced a previous Knights Templar building. It is one of the finest Elizabethan halls in the world. It has a very long history, but it is not a historical relic or a museum. Rather, it's very much a living space and is in many ways at the heart of the inn. It's used by our judges, barristers, new practitioners, and of course our students. They come here for lunches, dinners, lectures, performances, social events, and ceremonial events, such as the one we are hosting this evening. Over the centuries, this wonderful hall has been the venue for feasts, dances, and plays. It has survived riots, the plague, and the English Civil War when the inn itself was divided between royalists and parliamentarians. Unlike other areas of the temple, the hall also survived the Blitz of World War II, but only just. A bomb landed in Middle Temple Lane outside and blew a hole in that window up there and blew in the window and blew apart the wooden screen that you can see there. Happily, the window had been evacuated before the war started, and the wooden screen was restored after the war, and the hall remains almost exactly as it was 450 years ago. Since medieval times, lectures or readings have been delivered from a table such as this one. The table, which is known as the cupboard, and on which all the students will sign their names, is taken from the hatch cover on Francis Drake's ship, the Golden Hind, in which he circumnavigated the globe between 1577 and 1580. And when you, the students, sign your name in the call book shortly, you'll be joining many generations of Middle Templars who have preceded you since the 14th century. Members of the judiciary, such as Lord Burnet, the last Lord Chief Justice, Lord Phillips, Lady Scotland, and the late Lord Judge. But not just lawyers, people such as Walter Raleigh, Henry Fielding, and Charles Dickens, as well as Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother, Diana, Princess of Wales, and our current Royal Bencher, His Royal Highness the Prince of Wales, who was called in this hall in 2009. It's a rich tradition and a very distinguished line of individuals who have come through this hall. To which we add today, of course, all the students who are about to be called to the bar, having achieved this distinction in their own right. All of you here today have shown real dedication to your professional futures at the bar. Many of you will have juggled jobs and competing commitments to family, friends, work, and study. You will probably have forgotten what free time is. You may even have forgotten what your friends and family look like. They may have forgotten what you look like. But you are all here today, and we are all extremely proud of what you have accomplished. I would also add that we here at Middle Temple are very proud of you and your achievement. And if you haven't already started to think of this as your professional home, I hope you will do so as you develop your careers in the future. Now, before we begin, I'd like to introduce to you some of the individuals you're going to meet today and their roles. The Masters of the Bench, or the Benchers as they're known, are the senior members of the inn who make up the governing body. You will have met some of them, and many of them will have been involved in the training of the students over the last year or so. And they have all been through what you're about to go through. Then there's the reader. In the earliest days of the inn, Master Reader used to deliver law lectures here in this hall to Middle Temple students. At one time, the reader used to have sole authority to call students to the bar, but today she will be presenting you for your degrees. And last but not least, the treasurer of the inn, the Right Honourable Lord Lloyd Jones, a Justice of the Supreme Court and the chairman of our governing body in this his year of office, the Treasurer will admit students to their degrees today. The coat of arms that you see displayed around the hall and in the corridor are in fact those of previous treasurers and readers going back to the 1600s. That's the cast, but you are an important part of the production, which is why I'd like to explain a little about the sequence of events in the call ceremony that we are about to witness. In a few minutes, the masters of the bench will process into hall from that doorway over there to my right and your left. At this point, we would ask you to stand if you're able to do so. You'll then be invited to be seated when the benches have taken their places. The reader will then open the ceremony, and then each student will be called to the bar one by one. And this evening, we have 42 students being called to the bar, with 2 being called remotely. Although we're here to recognize their achievements, if we pause to applaud each and every one, we'd probably be here for almost as long as it took them to do the bar course. So I do hope you'll understand if I ask you to refrain from clapping until all the students have been called, and then at the end, we can applaud them all together. Following the presentation of the students, the Treasurer will then give a short address. And finally, to close the ceremony, we will signal that you should stand again if you're able to do so, as the benchers process out of the hall through the door through which they came at the start of the ceremony. A couple of very important points, please. Please note that no photographs should be taken during the ceremony. You may, of course, take photographs afterwards. Almost everybody does. And a professional photographer is also on hand to take formal call day photographs. In a problem that was not in front of the Under-Treasurer in 1562, may I ask you to ensure your mobile phones are switched off. And once again, I'd like to express how very proud we are of all our qualifying students today, and how delighted we are that you're here with us to mark this special occasion in the passage of their professional lives. I hope you enjoy the rest of the evening. The Treasurer, the benchers, and I look forward to meeting as many of you as possible after the ceremony. Thank you very much.
Welcome to the Middle Temple. Please be seated. Student members of the Middle Temple, being called to the degree of the utter bar, you have declared that for as long as you remain a barrister, you will use your knowledge and skills in keeping with the principles and ethics of the profession, uphold the rule of law, and in doing so, comply with the code of conduct and core duties of the Bar of England and Wales. You have also accepted the obligation to follow the regulations of the profession and to undertake continual improvement of your professional knowledge and competence. Master Treasurer, it is my duty and privilege as Master Reader to introduce to you those students of this honourable and learned society whose proposals for call to the degree of the utter bar have been authorised by Parliament. When they have been called by you, they will, after the ancient manner, enter their names at the cupboard in the book containing the roll of the barristers of this inn.
Thank you.
Master Treasurer, I introduce Joseph Das Solomon.
Mr. Solomon, in the name of the Masters of the Bench, I call you to the degree of the utter bar. Congratulations.
Master Treasurer, I introduce Philip Robert Russell Matthews.
Mr. Matthews, in the name of the Masters of the Bench, I call you to the degree of the utter bar. Congratulations.
Master Treasurer, I introduce Paris Lamara Howe-Lewis.
Ms. Howe-Lewis, in the name of the Masters of the Bench, I call you to the degree of the utter bar. Congratulations.
Master Treasurer, I introduce Jared Jimmy Lee Pillay.
Mr. Pillay, in the name of the Masters of the Bench, I call you to the degree of the utter bar. Congratulations.
Master Treasurer, I introduce Ellen Catherine Dean.
Ms. Dean, in the name of the Masters of the Bench, I call you to the degree of the utter bar. Congratulations.
Master Treasurer, I introduce Anna Grace Gatrell.
Ms. Gatrell, in the name of the Masters of the Bench, I call you to the degree of the utter bar. Congratulations.
Master Treasurer, I introduce Nicholas Tudor Radu.
Mr. Radu, in the name of the Masters of the Bench, I call you to the degree of the utter bar. Congratulations.
Master Treasurer, I introduce Morgan Rebecca Robinson.
Ms. Robinson, in the name of the Masters of the Bench, I call you to the degree of the utter bar. Congratulations.
Master Treasurer, I introduce Kazi Lutfa Rahman.
Ms. Rahman, in the name of the Masters of the Bench, I call you to the degree of the utter bar. Congratulations.
Master Treasurer, I introduce Vanessa Faye Thomas.
Ms. Thomas, in the name of the Masters of the Bench, I call you to the degree of the utter bar. Congratulations.
Master Treasurer, I introduce Suvitra Sylvia Moray Kenson.
Ms. Kenson, in the name of the Masters of the Bench, I call you to the degree of the utter bar. Congratulations.
Master Treasurer, I introduce Lavanya Vaishnavi Sridhar.
Ms. Sridhar, in the name of the Masters of the Bench, I call you to the degree of the utter bar. Congratulations.
Master Treasurer, I introduce Gian Lorenzo Leone.
Mr. Leone, in the name of the Masters of the Bench, I call you to the degree of the utter bar. Congratulations.
Master Treasurer, I introduce Andrew Lister.
Mr. Lister, in the name of the Masters of the Bench, I call you to the degree of the utter bar. Congratulations.
Master Treasurer, I introduce Brent Alexander McNeil.
Mr. McNeil, in the name of the Masters of the Bench, I call you to the degree of the utter bar. Congratulations.
Master Treasurer, I introduce Hannah Mazia Hosenbokus.
Ms. Hossenvokas, in the name of the Masters of the Bench, I call you to the degree of the utter bar. Congratulations.
Master Treasurer, I introduce Jerome Christian Massarenas.
Mr. Mascarenas, in the name of the Masters of the Bench, I call you to the degree of the utter bar. Congratulations.
Master Treasurer, I introduce Claire Alice Geller.
Ms. Geller, in the name of the Masters of the Bench, I call you to the degree of the utter bar. Congratulations.
Master Treasurer, I introduce Lucia Stefania Ariane Cavalieri.
Ms. Cavalieri, in the name of the Masters of the Bench, I call you to the degree of the utter bar. Congratulations.
Master Treasurer, I introduce Eleanor Jane Vernon Wills.
Ms. Wills, in the name of the Masters of the Bench, I call you to the degree of the utter bar. Congratulations.
Master Treasurer, I introduce Isabel Lee Davin.
Ms. Davin, in the name of the Masters of the Bench, I call you to the degree of the utter bar. Congratulations.
Master Treasurer, I introduce Brian Lim Chi Ming.
Mr. Lim, in the name of the Masters of the Bench, I call you to the degree of the utter bar. Congratulations.
Master Treasurer, I introduce Calvin Anil Christopher.
Mr. Christopher, in the name of the Masters of the Bench, I call you to the degree of the utter bar. Congratulations.
Master Treasurer, I introduce Wei Zi Chia.
Mr. Chair, in the name of the Masters of the Bench, I call you to the degree of the utter bar. Congratulations.
The next callee appears remotely. Master Treasurer, I introduce Awanku Mohammed Ruzaimi bin Peniran Haji Ramli.
Mr. Ben Pirian Haji Ramli, in the name of the Masters of the Bench, I call you to the degree of the utter bar. Congratulations.
Master Treasurer, I introduce Jeremy Ung Ji Xuan.
Mr. Ung, in the name of the Masters of the Bench, I call you to the degree of the utter bar. Congratulations.
Master Treasurer, I introduce Charmaine Chan Hui Ying.
Ms. Chan, in the name of the Masters of the Bench, I call you to the degree of the utter bar. Congratulations.
Master Treasurer, I introduce Yi Ling Liao.
Ms. Liao, in the name of the Masters of the Bench, I call you to the degree of the utter bar. Congratulations.
Master Treasurer, I introduce Hannah Suha Dil Mohammed.
Mr. Mohammed, in the name of the Masters of the Bench, I call you to the degree of the utter bar. Congratulations.
Master Treasurer, I introduce Ji Chi Lim.
Ms. Lim, in the name of the Masters of the Bench, I call you to the degree of the utter bar. Congratulations.
Master Treasurer, I introduce Chi Xian Hong.
Mr. Hong, in the name of the Masters of the Bench, I call you to the degree of the utter bar. Congratulations.
Master Treasurer, I introduce Wong Hong Yang.
Mr. Wong, in the name of the Masters of the Bench, I call you to the degree of the utter bar. Congratulations.
Master Treasurer, I introduce Theo Edward James Woodhead.
Mr. Woodhead, in the name of the Masters of the Bench, I call you to the degree of the utter bar. Congratulations.
Master Treasurer, I introduce Nicoletta Grace Garakios.
Ms. Garakios, in the name of the Masters of the Bench, I call you to the degree of the utter bar. Congratulations.
Master Treasurer, I introduce Tia Antonia Simpson.
Ms. Simpson, in the name of the Masters of the Bench, I call you to the degree of the utter bar. Congratulations.
Master Treasurer, I introduce Roshin Jane Finnegan.
Ms. Finnegan, in the name of the Masters of the Bench, I call you to the degree of the utter bar. Congratulations.
Master Treasurer, I introduce Isabel Laura Cattrall.
Ms. Cattrall, in the name of the Masters of the Bench, I call you to the degree of the utter bar. Congratulations.
Master Treasurer, I introduce Madeline Elizabeth Jackson.
Ms. Jackson, in the name of the Masters of the Bench, I call you to the degree of the utter bar. Congratulations.
The next callee appears remotely. Master Treasurer, I introduce Suki Lim.
Ms. Lim, in the name of the Masters of the Bench, I call you to the degree of the utter bar. Congratulations.
Master Treasurer, I introduce Archie Stewart Milligan Manby.
Mr. Milligan Manby, in the name of the Masters of the Bench, I call you to the degree of the utter bar. Congratulations.
Master Treasurer, I introduce Joanna Claire Walters Curtis.
Ms. Curtis, in the name of the Masters of the Bench, I call you to the degree of the utter bar. Congratulations.
Master Treasurer, I introduce Grant Robert Kinniston.
Mr. Kinniston, in the name of the Masters of the Bench, I call you to the degree of the utter bar. Congratulations. Master Reader, Masters of the Bench, ladies and gentlemen, please could I invite you to join me in congratulating the new barristers. Newly called barristers of the Middle Temple, on behalf of all members of the Middle Temple, it gives me enormous pleasure to congratulate each one of you on your call to the bar and to welcome you to the profession. You have today become members of the profession of barrister, and I hope that from now on you will regard the Middle Temple as your professional home. The ceremony in which you have just taken part is held in the hall of our inn. It is, in my view, one of the most beautiful buildings in the world. This month marks the 450th anniversary of its completion. We know that the first Queen Elizabeth visited the hall on at least one occasion on the 3rd of March, 1578. And we also know that the first recorded performance of Twelfth Night, William Shakespeare's Twelfth Night, took place here on the 2nd of February, 1602. The hall, as well as being much loved by all Middle Templars, is a symbol of our continuity and of the traditions which we have inherited, the most important of which is the promotion and the maintenance of the rule of law. I know that you all will be worthy successors to the many generations of barristers who have been called in this hall, and that we can look to you with confidence to uphold the rule of law, which, when all is said and done, is fundamental to civilized life and one of the great blessings we enjoy. Let me turn from the past to the present. Today, you have good reason to celebrate. Today marks the completion of an important step in your legal education. All that hard work, all those hours spent in libraries and lectures and supervisions and tutorials, well, it's all paid off, hasn't it? But I'm sure you will be the first to acknowledge that you could not have achieved this academic success without the support of your families and friends. It is a great pleasure to see so many of them present to celebrate with you this evening. Please would you join me in applauding them and thanking them. And please would you also join me in thanking our Director of Education, Krista Richmond, and all the education team at the Middle Temple. So what about the future? You're joining a great profession. In the years ahead, you will find it challenging and demanding, but also, I hope, rewarding in all sorts of ways. There will be the fascination of the cases that come before the courts, both as to their facts and as to the law, the thrill of advocacy, and the satisfaction of helping those who come to you for your advice and for your help. There will be occasions on which you will be conscious of the great responsibility that you bear. There will be other occasions on which you will be simply excited and thrilled to be playing your part in the legal system. You will find that this inn and the wider legal community will be very supportive. This society will do everything it can to assist you in your careers, and we look forward to enjoying your company here in the inn. Seeing you all assembled here today, I must confess to a slight sense of envy. I have been very fortunate in my legal career. I've had wonderful support and encouragement all along the way. I've been given many wonderful opportunities. You, however, have all your careers before you. You have it all to look forward to. And I must confess that if I were offered some sort of Mephistophelian pact, which might enable me to change places with you today, well, I might just be sorely tempted. So enjoy today. Enjoy your celebrations, enjoy your careers, and seize every opportunity which is presented to you. Believe me, I and all of your colleagues in the Middle Temple wish each one of you all the success in the world. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the formal part of the evening. Let's party.